wasn't able to be here tonight. But before I start, we do need to remember Jake McEwen, his wife Erica, her grandmother passed away earlier today, so he is not here at this point in time. They're dealing with that in the family situation. But we'll go ahead and start out with prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for coming together this night to do the business of the city of Kennett. We hope that you find it pleasing with you in your sight and allow us to have open and honest communications and just work through everything. Be with Jake McEwen and his wife Erica as they're dealing with the loss, and for all the other unspoken prayers out there. In your name I pray. Amen. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We'll start off first with a little bit of recognition of, I think, the entire back row back here. Church 272 back here at Kennett is working on their citizenship badge. There we go. So, all right.
Glad to hear.
Thank you guys for coming and do our start off with our pledge. All right. Approval of the minutes of the regular scheduled session on 3/2/2021.
Motion.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
And a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Committee and department reports. Chamber of Commerce is not here tonight. All right, Finance Committee.
We had another good month last month as far as our income. We had an average between 5,000 and 20,000 on each one of them,
Good.
higher than last year. All of you got itemized. I'm going to go itemize all of them, but year to date we're up 469,247.
Good.
So that's a good number.
That's, I have to say, a lot of that is coming from the usage tax.
Yeah,
from the
which
internet.
this month was down a little bit, but our sales tax 1 and 2 was up, made up the difference.
Good. Okay. Next we'll go with fire.
Mayor, council members, first off, a little note, tomorrow we do have a significant weather event that will be moving through our area. So we want to remind everyone out in the public and so forth to stay tuned to your televisions, your radios, and just pay attention to what's going on out in the sky. Again, National Weather Service is a little bit concerned about it, about how the system could move a little bit more closer to us, and the projected path is staying to the south of us. So everyone, please keep in mind, watch the weather tomorrow. Some stuff we have going on, met with the fire committee yesterday and got their approval to ask to take a bid from SEMO Air Conditioning and Heating for an AC heating unit for Station 1 that played out over last fall. So we're going to get something going before the summer heat hits us. So that bid was for $5,700, and again that was through SEMO Air Conditioning and Heating. That was approved by committee.
Okay.
I'll make the motion. We'll go ahead with it.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Motion approved.
Great. Other information, to tell our fire committee this last night, we've been having some radio issues, older radios playing out and so forth. Under the help with the Cape Girardeau Fire Department, they've gone to a new radio system, and they'll be donating 17 2,500 radios to us. Again, this is kind of what we were looking at investing in at some point, but that's going to be handled right now. So we're going to be well taken care of, hopefully, into the next year's budget. So we're all well with that. So thank you to the Cape Girardeau Fire Department for helping us out there.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Other things that we got going on this weekend, you're going to see an influx of fire department vehicles from across the state of Missouri and northeast Arkansas, northwest Arkansas. We'll be hosting a grain bin rescue class. It'll be at 200 Kennett Street. We'll utilize the parking area out next to the Sheryl Crow Pool. So if you're out and about, it looks like it's going to be good weather, and want to see some of the activities that firefighters have to train on as far as rescue work involving grain bins. come on out, take a look at what's going on. So hopefully with area restaurants and so forth, you should see an influx of business come Saturday at noon. So we have that going on. Other things that we've kind of had going on, we've been assisting the health department with COVID vaccinations. And we did receive word a couple of days ago that we are available for getting our overtime reimbursed through the state, through the Emergency Medical Services COVID-19 Relief Funding. Leslie is going to be working with us, making sure that we get all of our documentation taken care of. And that, again, we're providing the service, assisting the health department. I believe March 19th, Friday, we'll be assisting Dr. James' office. And then SEMO Healthcare, I just had a note that they were pending doing a vaccination clinic there. So, again, stuff that we're helping in the public, but we're also getting reimbursed for it. So, it should help us out there.
Sure.
And that's my report for tonight.
Thank you.
All right. Human resources.
The big thing with our group is trying to get the policies that we have to match one another. If you have a grandparent that's leave of absence due to the death of a family member, trying to be consistent across the board with all that. We're going to continue to work on that to where there's no inconsistency. That's it.
Okay. You may.
We have been quite busy. For February, we took in 59 dogs and had no euthanasia. And so far to date, since January 1st, we've taken in 156 and only had 4 that had to be euthanized. We had a few that were returned, mostly sent to rescue. And also, we just had a big fundraiser with the Kennett Middle School, where Kennett first seen us playing volleyball, and they raised a bunch of money and donations for the main department. They had to either donate money or donate dog food to get into the volleyball game, and it was a huge success.
Yeah, I saw the Facebook posts on there. Those are pretty good.
And that's about it. Any questions?
Thank you. Thank you. All right, police.
Mayor, council, first of all, I'd like to go over the crime stats for last month, the month of February. We have a total of 1,605 calls to service. This includes dispatches for 911, for the fire, ambulance, and the humane office also. The officer conducted 214 traffic stops. We worked 27 accidents, had 27 alarm calls, 17 burglaries, 94 disturbances, and then 20 domestic violence incidents and 30 shoplifting incidents. And also, keep in mind, all these calls went through our 911 center. You do know that we had 2 homicides back to back, a week apart. The one at the Legion building still has not been solved. It's still under investigation, but the other one has been solved, and there's been charges filed on people responsible. So that's a good thing. We're still working on the other one at Legion building. We met at the committee earlier tonight, and the council asked a few months back about us coming up with a wish list of what we want to do for the next budget year, and we decided kind of put off on the building for the firing range and just do the dirt work this year. Hopefully next year will be more affordable to build a building, so we're going to kind of hold that part off, and hopefully next year in 2022 we'll be able to build a building. But we'll just get the groundwork stuff done in 2021. And I do need a closed session now, just briefly, at the end of the meeting. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. All right, street.
In the process of deciding what intersections are gonna have, be concreted, and also what happens with the asphalt overlays. And we're getting close to being in, maybe winding the asphalt overlays up, Is that right, Keith?
Yes.
Kind of try to get everything done as best we can. Go ahead and continue on with that, and I'll kick in stormwater in a minute.
I don't have a whole lot on there. I'd first like to start by recognizing Roger Montgomery. He passed away this past weekend. He was the street commissioner for over 20 years. He hired me 30+ years ago. He died this weekend. I'd just like for everybody to remember his family and their prayers and thoughts. Like Bill was saying on the asphalt overlays, when we get done this year, hopefully we'll get over half of them done, so next year we should be able to finish them up. No more gravel roads in Kennett. So that's all we've got for that, unless y'all have any questions for me. Thank y'all.
Keith, thought we stand on fuel storage?
Fuel storage,
Yeah.
we have a big diesel tank and fuel tanks for our storage.
Okay. Are we keeping them full?
Yes, we haven't got any recently, but when the price was down, we filled them up completely, and right before it went up, we filled them up.
Okay.
So hopefully it'll last a little while, hopefully it'll come down a little bit, but
I wouldn't expect it.
I'm not expecting it to come down, no,
Yeah,
but we
about
did fill
four
them
years.
up all the way before it started going up. And that's, we've got right at 1,000 gallons of unleaded, 500 of premiums, what we use in our fuel for the lawnmowers and small engines, and about 3,000 gallons, I think, in for diesel.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I would stay up there for stormwater.
You want to go forward with stormwater next?
Yes, we will.
All right, we're needing to have a stormwater meeting next Tuesday, but actually, I think what we ought to do is see if we can get this approved tonight. We have we have allotted 20,000 for consultation, right? On our stormwater program with the engineers, and then we've got another 30,000 set aside for implementation. But they came back with a proposal for us to handle everything, and it's a little over $20,000.
I think it's like 22,000.
Okay, so I think it would be in our best interest to go ahead and make a motion tonight to approve or anything under $23,000 right now. That sound right?
Yeah, let's say 25.
Okay.
Because there were two separate, one of them was for one part of it, there's a two-part plan there. I think one of them was 10,000, the other one was like 12,000, I believe.
But 25 would cover it.
Yeah, it should cover it, yes.
All
and
amounts
that's-
coming out of the stormwater.
Yes.
Yes, it's been budgeted in the whole.
It's in the budget for it.
Yeah, but I think there's no sense in beating around the bush with it.
Okay.
Ken made a motion.
So we got a motion and a second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, there you go.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, what we just approved. They don't know what it's for out there.
Okay, as a city, we have a we have a stormwater program that we are required to develop, and we have a website, the whole works on this, but we have to educate the community and we have to meet certain criteria, or else we can suffer a pretty significant fine. And so this program, it's fairly difficult to run, and so we have an engineer group that will answer some of our questions and provide consultation with us as needed. And anytime you get a chance, look up, what's the stormwater website?
It is cityofkennettStormwater.com.
And there's gonna be pictures on there of some of the,
There are pictures of the vac truck, sweeper, and some of the other equipment that we use for stormwater.
And it was state mandated, right?
Yes, ma'am. Well, the website was not, but we actually, part of tonight's thing, we have to have a, I don't know, not really a public hearing, but a time for public comment on the proposed stormwater permit, and it had to be put out 30 days before this meeting. So we had somebody make a website the day before the limit for the stormwater to put it out, and they also put it out on the city's website. So to get our 30-day, and that was part of our permitting process. So that had to be done. But, and it's a way to get information out there. There's certain things that we have to have out there for the permit, so the stormwater website is a way to get that out there and get everything right with that. And the engineering firm that we hired is basically writing our stormwater plan and taking care of all of that. So there's a lot involved in it, and it's pretty, like Bill said, lengthy and so forth. So we had the money in the budget for well over what we need to hire them. So it's just easier to hire them, get them the information, and then they can tell us what we need to do so we get it right, because we're kind of behind a little bit on it.
Well, they've hired someone new to run the program, and her ideas are a little different than what we've been told.
They've revamped the whole program from what it used to be, and it's supposed to make it easier, but it's still not real easy. Someone doesn't do it all the time, but if you do it a lot, I guess it is. But between me and Victor and the engineering firm, we're right where we need to be, because they've changed a lot of this. So where we were behind, now we're getting a chance to start it kind of over again and be where we need to be with it, as long as we go along with their guidelines, which there are several guidelines, and once we get the permit, it's okay and everything, I'll get everybody a copy and y'all can look over it, see what exactly we got to do. Like Bill said, there's a portion that we've got to do public education and just several things in the permit that we'll have to do. And I think you have several things, but you can do them throughout the permit period, which is either 3 or 5 years. I can't remember what it is. So you'll have to do so many a year until you meet it. And it's up to you how many you do and so forth. So that's what they're doing. They're writing the plan and then kind of getting with us and say, you need to do this now and so forth. So
We're kind of in a unique situation too, because we require the street sweeper and machinery that other communities don't, because we have no hills. And the hills are real good at washing things away and down through the gutters and all that stuff, and ours instead goes into the drainage system and sits there and causes flooding and things of that nature. And so we have to spend a lot more money on the baseline to get this done, but hopefully with the stormwater tax that we have, so far we've been able to control everything. Sometimes it goes against us that we have the stormwater tax, doesn't it?
yeah, you can, but we're making good headway.
Good.
We've taken care of a lot of flooding in town. I hope y'all haven't been getting phone calls. You don't ever get phone calls when it's good, but you will definitely get them when it's bad. So I hope y'all aren't getting any phone calls about flooding, because from what we've been checking when it's been raining, we've not had the issues that we've had in the past.
Driving the street.
We do have Mr. Morris. Where'd he go? He didn't leave, doesn't run off, did he? We do have a hole in his parking lot of one of his buildings there where we had a nice little sinkhole form over the weekend when we got the rain, but that's all right because we needed to clean that drain anyway, so as long as we've got a 4x4 hole there, we're gonna use it to clean the pipe out before we build him a box back there. And then he said it'd be all right to build a box, and we're gonna put a solid lid on it, so we'll have an access to keep that clean and maintained in the future. And
Not out in the street.
yeah, not out in the street, yeah. And actually when they clean in the street, and I don't know if y'all know about the near miss a couple of days ago of one of the city employees, but that's actually where we'll be working at, so that's not really a good place to be out in the road at. The only other, we got the airport pond. We've been shooting grade out there, and we've cleaned the ditch a little bit along the taxiway to try to get that water going out there. So we can't do a whole lot with the rain. It's still wet out there, but when we've shot grade and done that, so that when it does dry up, we'll be ready to put the pipe in. It won't take very long to get that done. So hopefully, not too far from now, we'll have that taken care of. And that's all I've got. Unless y'all got any questions.
I think we canceled our need for the meeting.
Thank y'all.
Alright. So you don't need a closed session?
No.
Okay, alright. Okay. Unfinished business, we don't have anything down?
We still do have to have a period for public comments on the stormwater.
Okay. Oh, right now?
It's on the.
It's on the.
Oh, never mind. It's on there twice, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure which is better.
do we have it there? So,
Yeah.
okay. Well, while we've got everybody, we're on stormwater, is there any public comments about the stormwater? Any questions? Comments?
If you get a chance to look at the pictures, you'll find some interesting things that are in our system in the city of Kennett. I don't think you have a bowling ball in there this year, do you?
No, we haven't found a bowling ball, but we have found a lot of roots.
Okay. All right, well, if no one has any questions on the stormwater, we'll go on to unfinished business then. We don't have anything down that I have. New business. We have under A, stormwater, public comment. Oh, that's what we just had. Okay. There was a approval of a gas main easement for out compress that we signed the other day. You have a copy of it in your packet. And we needed a,
Yeah, what happened was, they were putting in they had to get an easement right away. The company, well, the city had to get an easement right away to go across some of the compressed property, put in natural gas line from the main line over to the compressed. And the mayor's signature was required on that, so we just decided to have the mayor sign it then because time was of the essence and have the council ratify his signature.
Motion.
so we have a motion
Second.
and a second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, you also have a copy of the city revenue and expenditures for February. Need a motion?
Motion.
A second? Second? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Approval of the city bank balances?
Motion.
Oh, second.
Okay, and a second.
Thanks, Ken.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And then the city approval of the city abstract.
Motion.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Mayor's report. I'm gonna start off first with, on your paperwork there, I left a copy on there that my pastor, Brother Matthew Camper, he's pretty well done our video system up at church. And had him up here a little while back, and he looked at what we have with our old sound system, and being able to put in a new camera in here, hook into the sound system, allow these microphones to work, and be able to pick up everything. So a computer, this was everything he said he'd need, and then we'll go through it and put through and install it. We were estimating that that's the amount of cable that we're gonna have. We may have to need a little more or less, but I know we'd received one bid that was right under $10,000. This year, for just the equipment, there may be some things that we can, if we've got an older computer around that's not being used anymore, that we can put on there. We wouldn't have to spend the $270 for a computer.
Is labor worked into this?
Yeah, that's, we're gonna donate the labor.
Okay.